Good morning, Southern Illinois. You are listening to Isn't It Queer on WDBX 91.1, community radio serving the Southern Illinois region. This is Johnny, soon to be joined by Heather, and we are recording this show mostly on a Tuesday afternoon before it goes out on a Wednesday morning. But the exciting part is that Heather has secured an interview with Moscow and Elijah. These are YouTube creators responsible for We Last Reacts and Not So Average Fangirl. And their story of coming together and their story of the work that they do and just general queer joy, geek out over animation and popular culture and creativity and all of that wonderful, wonderful stuff. In the front half of the show, we spend a little bit of time touching base about some of the wonderful things that are going on in Carbondale, including a little bit of a birthday celebration that we want to acknowledge that might have something to do with a little bit close to home. Hey, it is a thick show, and I think we should dive right in. How you doing?
Oh, tired.
Tired.
How about you?
What's wearing you out?
Oh, just doing so many things. I mean, because we've been having an influx of friends coming to visit. This, of course, necessitates, because Kay has an opinion, that I must clean and she must clean all the things.
Yeah.
And get boxes out of the way and unpack things. And I'm like, this is great for unpacking our house. This is terrible for I hurt and I don't want to move.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On the other hand, people are coming to see you. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool because it's like, you haven't forgotten me in the great wilds of Southern Illinois.
Nobody. No, they're coming down now. And now's a really good time. I don't know. This end of August weather turn has been delightful. I've been wanting to be outside.
I mean, low to mid 80s might be okay as long as the humidity is not 1,000.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
I know it's weird, and I've been seeing the stuff on YouTube about this is unusual for this time of year. Be worried, and I am. Climate change, blah blah blah. But this is at least if we're going to have climate change, can there be like nice parts to it? Like August isn't so bad.
But I mean, I'm okay with that life choice.
Yeah, we're starting the second week of the semester, and I'm ready for that.
And you can already tell.
I can tell. I'm ready for that. The first week is always just a little bit hectic, trying to get everything in order. Everybody's running around, a little bit frantic, trying to start things off. And now that it's started, I'm ready for that typical 2 or so week ease into everything. Sort of has a thing. There's not a lot of homework or graded things coming in. Most stuff that you're doing is prepped and ready to go. And so I look forward to this portion where it's kind of pleasant and relaxed before I know in mid-September it gets crazy again. So.
Yeah, it's not students are evil and must be destroyed, which is finals.
That's late.
That's finals, yeah. But early on, it's like, oh, they're such interesting people and they have ideas. And at the end of the semester, like, can it just end?
I'm glad to be through oh my God, summer's already over. I'm not ready for the semester to begin, which in all my years, that's every summer. I am never ready for the semester to begin. I never did enough during the summer. And at the same time, the semester begins and you move into it and you get through that. And now we're past all the crazy and it's time to chill for a little minute before it gets crazy again.
Yeah. I mean, I've been letting my brain relax and defrag for a while. So I might be able to dive back into writing. And
I like it.
And get some more fun stuff
now
done.
that you don't have to move a RV around and you don't have to move in as much, although cleaning up for friends coming over is
it's work, but it's not as much as, hey, we just moved everything.
Sure. Our big crisis at home, right, is as of last night for some reason, and we tried to fix it, our Wi-Fi is out at home, and so that impacts your ability to do work from home for all the online stuff. And
our crisis is the guest bed broke.
Oh no.
And so we have to get a new bed, not a new mattress. Just the bed, because the frame decided that, I'm sorry, you're having too much fun, I'm a collapse. Have a nice day. And I'm like,
You never get to just chill completely. There's always something going to break, always something going to go down, and your constant maintenance, constant fixing.
That's a lesson for everybody out there. If you think, when I get to be an adult, no, it gets worse.
Now, speaking of maintenance,
I
got to kick off this first weekend after the first week of school with an Under Maintenance improv show at the Varsity. Under Maintenance is a local improv troupe, sort of started by a student actually coming into the SIU from our local community, Carbondale High School. Connor, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your last name here, but then also a local actor, performer, kind of partner of one of my colleagues down in theater and dance, Macklin McClougal. But yeah, we did a show this Saturday. It went really well. It was fun to have a nice new audience there as well.
Got some stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, there's stuff going up if you're interested on YouTube and on Facebook. Under Maintenance Improv is sort of what you look for, and you can see me being silly on
honestly, stage. Improv is fun. It's a really quick, easy, low-cost kind of show to throw on every once in a while. I mean...
Yeah. And my favorite part, honestly, are the rehearsals because they're sort of spread out nicely, and it's just practice. And we do it for the show so that you can have shows, obviously. But I learned so much in the rehearsals, and as a performance studies person, embracing another kind of performance genre, and with all of its conventions and stuff, it's been really fascinating. Mac is an amazing teacher and amazing coach for the group. And by the way, because it's the start of the semester, we're actually losing some of our members to going up to Chicago to go to college up there and that kind of thing.
Like gasp.
I know, it happens. So if you're interested, community, and I just want to throw this out there, we are actually having auditions to kind of bolster up the troupe if you're at all interested. So on Tuesday, September 15th, from 7 to 8:30 in the Balcony Theater and in the Varsity Theater, so the upstairs theater space, there'll actually be a audition. Now the audition is asking you to send some information, so you would send that to undermaintenanceimprov@gmail.com, all one together, no spaces, no underlines. So undermaintenanceimprov@gmail.com. And the main thing is an interest in doing it and an availability. So what we look for is folks who are available on Tuesday nights, which is our main night of rehearsal, and then Saturday nights, at least once a month, a Saturday night for a show. And I think the week of the show, we will often see if we can throw in an extra rehearsal when folks are available to be there.
Yeah, and
it's not a big commitment.
I mean, the biggest thing I've learned from improv when I did it is yes and. I mean, that impacts all creative work.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's amazing. And
I've learned how what as a philosophy it's really good, and how it is definitely you have to train your mind. I love it. It's been wonderful. I thought it was just a summer fling for me, but I'm sticking with it. I thought it was something separate from my work, but it's already finding its way into work and interest.
Did you get permission from Craig?
To keep going with it?
Yeah.
I don't think I asked, actually, and I have, and he's just like, okay, so you're keeping doing this. But yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Oh, my.
Now, we are, right now, we're not padding, honestly, but honestly, the news this week was pretty thin.
It's
globally,
like
locally, et cetera.
Amnesty UK is using copyright law to hunt down versions of its report that it's afraid JK is going to sue them over. I'm like, okay.
Thank you, Aaron in the morning.
Aaron in the morning was like, hey, I'm on this. And I'm like, did you literally jump on the one piece of movement this week? And apparently, yes. And I mean, yes, the horrors continue, and so do we. But in terms of LGBTQ news, it's a really light week.
Well, there were some things that caught my attention. One of them was, I think, some polling information that we shared says that Pete Buttigieg is right now, at least currently right now in this moment, according to a poll, Emerson College polling.
Okay.
Emerson College polling has Pete Buttigieg not only beating J.D. Vance, if J.D. Vance is the Republican nominee, but also beating out most other Democratic candidates that we think are most likely for 2020. Now, remember, he hasn't declared that he's running for president.
No.
And nobody really has.
Because we're not even at the midterms.
Yeah.
I know it feels like it's been 10 years since the inauguration, but that's just the horror.
Yeah. Well, I think there's something, what is it? We've always sort of hold our tongue and lament that we love him. He's really wonderful. He's a really amazing speaker and really on board and really knowledgeable and really quite rhetorically savvy. And all of those things are great things. But also, after having twice not been able to elect a woman, the possibility of electing a gay man, even if he's, white and very cis, doesn't seem real likely either.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think because he is a man, it would be easier for people to hold their nose and push the button.
Oh, man. I know some feminists, and I agree with them, that would be just mad at America for that, and I think with good reason.
I mean, Pakistan has had a female leader, and she did amazing. Most countries in the world.
Indonesia,
yes.
Some MAGA Republican was trying to say, name a Muslim country that allows women to vote, and it's like
Pakistan,
there
Indonesia.
Are, and then they've also had prime ministers or presidents, and we've never been able to do that here.
Yeah.
So what you telling us about
Turkey?
Yeah, right.
Turkey again. I mean, keep listing all these countries.
Now, I think I have to admit that one of the things that may be making Buttigieg seem a little bit more palatable is that some people are freaking out because of the far left progressive turn that at least a chunk of Democrats are taking lately, sometimes including people who are not nearly white enough or Christian enough.
I'm getting a feeling that there's a certain vibe you're putting down.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're doing very successfully, but obviously the person running for Senate from Michigan, El Said.
Dr. El Said. Dr. El Said is, he's doing good stuff.
He's doing good stuff. Now, in addition to just being incredibly, I think, very articulate and very rhetorically savvy, like Pete Buttigieg, he has agreed to go on Fox News.
And just basically spanked him on Fox News. It was like, but trans, and like, why do you care about this? There are so many infinitely more important things like our economy, our electrical infrastructure, data centers, and just starts. I'm like, oh, this is great. You're like not scapegoating us.
Yeah.
I mean, what a novel
Jesse
idea.
Waters, who is so well known for his savviness on Fox News. He never gets read or eaten up by it.
Okay, I want to point something else about
Sarcasm.
Jesse Waters. Yeah. Okay, the administration did not get him because apparently he's not as bright as Hegseth. Sorry, Pete Hegseth. Yeah, that tells me too many volumes.
Yeah. He's also apparently not even on the list for consideration for new press secretary now that Levitt is leaving.
Yeah. And so, I mean, El Said is doing amazing work. Yeah. I've watched a couple of videos from the department of the mayor of New York, and Mamdani is like going around going, this is a problem. This is how we're going to fix it. And it's like, and what do you guys think are problems? Oh, this is a problem. Some of the scaffolding's been here 15 years. He's like, that is a problem. Let's see what we can do about it. And I'm just like, you literally got into office to fix things? What kind of leftist nonsense is this? You want to fix things?
Yeah, Mamdani is fixing things. El Said is promoting things like universal health care. Like, as a doctor, that is his primary thing. He wants us to have universal health care.
It's so difficult. Much of the rest of the world has it.
Yeah.
It's very terrifying how just difficult it is.
Yeah. And they keep trying to spin that we can't possibly have it. And I think what keeps coming up is wrong.
Mexico has it.
Yeah.
It's
we
like,
could do this.
Are you saying we're not as on top of it as Mexico? Which, honestly, at the moment, yes. I mean,
it would save us money.
It would save billions.
Yeah. We would be saving money. It would be good for us. It's not so good for billionaires or people. And
imagine being able to go, I'm sick. I should go get checked out, as opposed to I have to work. I guess I'm just going to die. Yeah. Thanks, United Healthcare. Oh, sorry. The healthcare industry. Let's be clear.
Yeah. And I'm sure that, the thing that will try to come up again is, you want universal health care, but you're going to try and make universal health care that's supported by taxpayer dollars support trans people. And I'm ready for El Said to answer that, because given the answer that he gave Jesse Waters, Democratic Party, please take a lead on this. This is exactly the way to go.
It's really simple. Just look at how people are like flocking to these people because they're saying things that like, let's fix problems. This is a non-issue. Can we actually have good things for a change? And the Democratic Party's like, no, part of our message is we can't have nice things because of Republicans. I'm like, yes, but this is a yes and kind of moment.
Yeah.
On a more positive note, there are some birthdays coming up.
Okay, so obviously Trixie Mattel this had a birthday this past Sunday.
Awesome.
Happy birthday, Trixie Mattel, and you're a fabulous drag queen whose very distinct makeup style has inspired me before for Sisters work, because it's like, wow, you really can have a style that's femme and fabulous, but also like completely yours. Like, nobody else can do that style. It is yours, Trixie Mattel. It is how you look. Yay for Trixie Mattel. Happy birthday. Of course, there's another birthday that was for Monday, the 24th. Somebody turned 16. It's us.
Oh, wait, I'm 16?
Yeah, I'm not 16. You're not 16. But Isn't It Queer turned 16 on Monday the 24th.
And thank you to the people who helped found this show. I mean, it was Billy
Rogers,
Paulette Kirkin, And
Cade Purcell.
yes.
Cade Purcell is actually the one who went into WDBX as a person who worked in media downstairs with Professor in cinema and photography back in the day, and said, hey, we need there to be a local queer news show. And they said, okay, make it happen.
And
they
honestly, those three are absolute legends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for...
All three have done amazing things in our community. Our local in SIU resource center is called the Paulette Kirkin Resource Center because Paulette Kirkin was instrumental in starting the LGBTQ resource centers and support centers and working with the student group that was on campus and so forth. Of course, Paulette Kirkin and Billy Rogers, earlier than that, had been leaders in the community by, I believe, hosting one of the first, not the first, but one of the first out LGBTQ-focused bars in the community.
I mean...
Yeah, right?
They're awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thank you guys for starting this. And we just keep...
Billy Rogers is the main voice behind Golden Rainbows of Illinois South. He's been doing a lot of work to, he and his partner Hal, of course, own the Pit, what used to sort of be a kind of gay swimming hole, gay and lesbian swimming hole, actually lesbian swimming hole predominantly in the 70s before anybody owned it specifically for that. And then Billy and Hal bought it, and we've done information on here about that as well. And Billy has been amazing. Of course, Billy's work right now is primarily about making sure that our elder queers have local community support as we get older and need it. And thank you for that. That's been amazing work as well.
So big, huge happy birthday shout out to Paulette, Billy, and Cade. Thank you for making this thing, and I'm happy. I'm getting close to my third year being on this show, and you've been on it a hot minute.
Since 2013. The show started in 2010. We've had many, many different co-hosts along the way. I've gone a long way with all of this, and it has been fab. We are 16 years old, so we can drive a car now.
Yay!
We should be having a Sweet 16 party. I don't know when. We didn't plan, so...
Yeah.
If you want to throw one out there, that'd be great.
That'd be hysterical.
Which means also in 2 years, in time for the next big presidential election, we will be voting eligible as a.
Ooh.
I mean, if corporations have freedom of speech, then shouldn't a nonprofit organization
a podcast should have freedom of speech?
Yeah. And the ability to vote, right?
Oh yeah.
I feel like.
Sure.
After all, we were born in the United States, and we have not changed our name. So even if the SAVE Act were to pass... we would also, of course, be eligible for the draft, except that our current Department of War doesn't think that queer people should be allowed to serve in the military.
So and I'd be like, I did this job. And they'll be like, you're an evil trans, run away. Right, and I'm like, okay.
And we'll be glad to tell that story on air and online, and it'll be part of what we do. Yeah. Hey, part of our mission always has been, and sort of starting with Cade and Paulette and Billy, has been to really provide a platform for local queer news, because we really believe and have evidence that down here in Southern Illinois, especially in the Carbondale area, that we punch above our weight for LGBTQ advocacy. And that has only grown, I think, since we've seen red states going crazy and folks, the great diaspora of queer and trans folks leaving states that are oppressive. And some of them don't necessarily want to move to the sort of big urban centers. And we've been very attractive for some people to move here.
And we've been seeing more movement in red counties and cities having queer, prides and other things where they're just showing up and being like, look, we're here. This is a thing. Mm-hmm. It's not just over there in Carbondale, which is a little sketchy. And that,
SIU, universities, liberals.
No, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Yeah, it's important. Look, one of the things that we like to do, obviously, sometimes we have to talk about the news here because, hey, we love our local community and it does a lot, but not every week. In terms of generating content, that can be kind of challenging. But I want to say that we always are available for interviews. We're happy to interview local folks. Last week we interviewed Kyle, who had been through a real traumatizing situation here in Southern Illinois, and power to you, Kyle, for the work that you're doing and where you're going with what you're doing. That was wonderful to get a local voice on the air. We have, in the back half of the show this week, the other kind of interview that we like to do, which is we got Zoom, even if we don't pay for it, so we have limit in the kind of interviews we can do. Yeah. But we can connect with folks. Who'd you connect with in the back half of the show?
I have been following a couple of YouTubers for years, and I got Kay into following them, and I've gotten many friends into following them because they do review shows. And the first one I met is Moscow, who had a channel, We Last Reacts, on YouTube, has Patreon and all that. Same with the next person. And she was doing review for the Owl House, and I'd seen a couple Owl House episodes. And so it was really interesting to watch her reaction, especially when there were parts where, there's, queer flirting. And she's like, oh, no, it can't be true. It's giving us nice things, and Disney doesn't give gays nice things. And I'm like, God, you have a wonderful accent, because she is very Scottish. Yeah. And I mean, her mascot for her show is a Highland coo. Not a cow. A coup. And the other person is Not So Average Fangirl is her channel, and her name is Elijah. One of the things I didn't mention in the interview is she was played Betty, the child, in Ugly Betty way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, she has a history in this. She does fan songs. All sorts of really cool stuff. And so I watched her shows, and her reactions were really funny, because a couple of times during Owl House reactions, she freaked out because of the content so much, she flung herself out of a chair and hurt herself. She's banged her knees, banged her feet. She is very expressive, and I love her to death. And
just two separate random YouTubers who have no relationship with each other.
Funny you should mention that, because Kay and I started shipping them because they were both adorable. We thought this would be great. And Kay started writing a book about two YouTubers who fall in love. It was very sweet. And then doing a thing for the Trevor Project, because they, of course, raise money for Trevor Project. They came out that they were dating with a phone call during Truth or Dare. It was like, oh, you have to call your crush. And so, Elijah called Moscow, and Moscow was very casual. Hello? And it was absolutely hysterical. The crowd went wild because they were like, oh, yes, because apparently lots of people were shipping them. And so, yeah, I was like, I've got to interview them, because they bring joy to all this stuff.
I look forward to the interview. I can't wait. It's in the back half of the show, and we got to cut away to it here soon. But I do want to take this moment. You hear that energy? You hear that excitement? That is its own kind of queer joy that I just love. And in the spirit of that, what's your queer joy out there in the world? What do you have? And how would you like to bring that on air with Isn't It Queer? All you got to do is be in touch with us, isn'titqueer@gmail.com. We'd be happy to talk with you. We'd be happy to talk with people that you think we should talk with. Also, we'd be happy to facilitate if you want to talk with people that you think are absolutely fascinating and exciting and get on the air here. We are ultimately a community radio and a community news outlet, including our local community's fascination with people who aren't in Carbondale. People who are in Carbondale is also good, too.
I mean, honestly, there's some absolutely amazing people in the queer community here. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And if you found a book you like to read, you like, hey, I got a snake and it's really awesome, and I want to tell people about how cool it is to actually have a snake. Not calling anyone specifically out here. Yeah. Not going to say their name.
I think you're thinking about somebody specific.
I am thinking about someone specific.
We want snakes on the show.
Sure. Why not? And if you read a book you thought was amazing, if you saw a show that you were like, oh, this was actually really good, and I wish you guys had mentioned it, anything.
If you're doing something, drag shows, improv shows, writing a book, writing a novel, working with an organization, working with a group, getting a group together that shares a similar passion, queer or otherwise, but you happen to be queer. Honestly, any of that is available for this show, and we'd love to have you on here, because while we like, casting some serious side eye on the ridiculousness of current events lately, we also want to remember that our community is built on intense queer joy that we have both for each other here and for a broader community out there that we connect with. So let's go to the back half of the show and hear this interview. You are listening to Isn't It Queer on WDBX FM 91.1, community radio serving the Southern Illinois region. We're going to take a quick minute to listen to one of our underwriters, and we'll be right back with Heather's interview.
Support for community radio on WDBX comes from the Carbondale Times newspaper, serving the community with news, sports, entertainment, and all things Carbondale since 1997. Pick up a copy of the Times each Friday for civic news, information on who's playing the Strip this weekend, an extensive list of upcoming community events, and all the latest on Carbondale Terrier and Saluki athletics. Best of all, it's free. And to keep up with the times anytime, visit us online at carbondaletimes.com or look us up on Facebook. Want even more information? Give us a call at 549-2799. Thanks for reading, and remember, together we are Carbondale.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and please welcome our guests, Elijah, also known as Not So Average Fangirl, and Moscow, also known as We Last Reacts. They are two YouTubers who are moving into the world of independent animation. And as with most people on our show, they do happen to be queer.
Yippee!
So please introduce each other or yourselves. I mean, however you want.
I'll let you go first, baby.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. My name is Elijah. I also go by Not So Average Fangirl online, as Heather so politely introduced. We are content creators. I do reaction videos on my YouTube channel. Pretty much how I got my start in the YouTube world. And through that, I have met my lovely girlfriend who will be introducing herself next, as well as now have dabbled and am now stepping my toes into the indie animation world, all starting on YouTube. So it's pretty awesome. And I'm going to let my lovely girlfriend take the lead now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Moscow. I go by We Last Reacts online, and very similar to Not So Average Fangirl, Elijah over there, where, I started actually doing a Scottish channel, a channel all about Scotland and Scottish accents and Scottish words, and then transitioned after about 80,000 subscribers, kind of packed that in, jumped ship, tried again, started a new channel from scratch, doing reviews and reactions to animation, because I've always had a passion for animation. And now, yes, just like Elijah said, we're now dipping our toes into, putting our money where our mouth is and making our own independent animated show, because why not?
Why not?
Exactly. Why not? You guys have some interesting background with YouTube. Like, I know I personally discovered the Owl House, and after like 2 episodes, discovered your channel, Moscow, and absolutely just binged everything. My wife replays some of your videos time and again because they make her happy. And I also know that, Elijah, you've had some on-screen injuries because of how excited you get about certain things.
This is very true. And you know what? I even have off-screen injuries as well. I just apparently my spatial awareness or lack thereof is apparently part of the whole ADHD thing, as my doctor has told me. So ironically, as we are having this interview, I have a brace on my right ankle because I have now injured that as well. So there's that.
I just permanently carry ibuprofen and paracetamol around with me now.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
She takes precaution around me.
I also have a bunch of what do you guys call them in America? The Band-Aid? Is it Band-Aid? Is that right?
Yes. Band-Aids, yeah.
I carry them around.
Or ace bandages in case you have to like immobilize a knee or something.
We've not gotten to that level yet, but just like the quick little Band-Aids, just because of this one. I have them in all my bags now.
Nice. I happen to think my favorite one is, I think you were watching one of the episodes of Owl House, and you completely fell out of your chair.
Oh, yeah.
Which, to be fair, I mean, Disney giving gay people something nice is rare.
Oh yeah, it was definitely worth the chair fall, and then in the future the toe stubs and the knee bangs against the corner of the desk, and the all of it. It was all 100% worth it, because, like you said, Disney giving us queer people something nice was definitely a new experience. It was a very nice experience, and I hope, there's a lot of things going on with Disney right now, but I hope in the future maybe they could be nice to us again. We shall see.
Oh yeah, and I remember Moscow watching you. You're going, no, that can't be flirting. I mean, Disney would never give us anything nice.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
And so, watching that relationship actually develop, and you're going, wait, no, no, this is flirting. What?
I was so like this. I was so in my own feels of this can't be legit. The company that has like donated to all these anti-gay charities and stuff, and like knowingly cancelled down some of these projects, and then the Owl House got cancelled, and it was like,
Of
oh, there,
course.
there it is, there it
Oh, the irony.
is.
Yes.
uh,
So, what is your favorite show you have covered on your channels?
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I do have a soft spot for, the Owl House helped me get started and really helped me establish my channel. Then it blended into Shira, which is a show that I share so lovingly with Elijah. I started watching it at her kind of one of her recommendations and absolutely falling in love with it, and still means a lot to me in her relationship. But ultimately, if I had to pick just one show that I have loved and would rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, I've got to give it to Ruby.
Okay, I kind of thought it was going to be Ruby because you seem really excited about that show.
I am, and it does not get nearly enough views or love. I'm hoping maybe when Volume 10 comes back, that's when people will start picking it back up and giving it a chance again. But I have absolutely loved my journey with that show.
Elijah?
Yeah, not to totally steal her answer, but it would honestly be the same. I mean, beforehand, I didn't get to react to She-Ra on my channel. I tried to start a rewatch, but then the copyright stuff became an issue. But I was lucky enough I got to see it as it was coming out. So I would have said She-Ra, but when Ruby came around, that kind of became the new She-Ra for me. Like Moscow was saying, like we share a love with that, and now we share a love with Ruby. And She-Ra was so special to me. It totally took my hyperfixation. I, had made art and fan fiction, and just got so invested in the fandom for it and the show and the creators and the cast and all that. And even though there were amazing shows like the Owl House that I will forever be grateful for what it stands for everything it was and for everything it did for me in my career in the YouTube channel. And as much as I have a love for Arcane, for just, for what that is and for as beautiful it is, when Ruby came around, I have to say it definitely became my new She-Ra. So my answer would have to be the same.
Okay, that's good. I didn't figure, Owl House would be the go-to show. I mean, you guys watch a very wide selection of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I half expected Digital Circus to win.
Really? Don't get us wrong, we do love Amazing Digital Circus, but I think as well because it was such a short show, it's not had the chance to resonate. Because the thing is that because I mean, I can only really speak for myself here, but I know, babe, you might feel a bit of the same because some of these other shows are so much longer. We're watching like 1 or 2 episodes a week, every week for like a year or 2 years. And so it gets a chance to really just get under our skin a bit more than Amazing Digital Circus has, where it's only had 8 episodes, compared to something like Ruby. And I don't even know how many episodes Ruby has. It's got loads.
Yeah, I think time is definitely plays a part in that, which is why I kind of miss longer shows. I don't know if you can relate to this, Heather, but do you remember those times? We would get like 20 something episodes for a season,
Yeah.
and I miss that.
My wife did her master's thesis on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love her.
I had never seen it, and I was like, I don't want to watch it, whatever. And then she starts watching it, multiple episodes daily, and so I ended up seeing the whole series and going, I don't know why I didn't want to see this. This is amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's really
gotta
good.
try and get Moscow onto that bandwagon at some point.
It was actually Buffy the Vampire Slayer was one that I grew up with, and I watched like the sporadic episodes that came out on TV before you had the flexibility of having a streaming platform where you could watch start to finish every episode. You had to catch them at the right time on the right day when they were being broadcasted. So I saw them kind of out of sequence, but I do remember really loving the show. I tried to do a rewatch of it recently and got to about season 2. I just found some of the episodes a bit too long. But I do really love Buffy. I just think it's one of those shows that I would probably try and condense. Personally, that's just a personal preference.
Makes
Especially right
sense.
now. That's fair.
Moscow,
Yes.
have you bought Elijah her own Highland coup?
That's
Do you
the
know?
first time we've been asked that.
Yeah, I know this is so a real coup, absolutely not, because she's not got the space for one. However, in terms of like a plushie coup, absolutely, there have been several that have now been bought between us that we have that exist in both her house and my house.
Because I know Hamish is an important part of your channel,
Naturally, can't do it
and
without the
so
boy.
I just figured that would be kind of natural for you to share your love of Highland coups with Elijah.
Yes, we've got a few now, haven't we, babe?
Oh yeah, we have a little family of coups, and I definitely would say her love for the coups has infected me as well. It's very infectious, and now when I go out there to Scotland, whenever we get to see them, I get so excited, and they're just adorable. They're so cute and fluffy.
They're
Like how
so
can you not love
fluffy.
them?
Another question that has arisen more from watching you guys, Elijah, have you bought really tall boots?
Oh God. Oh God.
I have
Why?
actually. I have actually. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had boots already. My personal favorites are like cool combat boots or those kind of boots that look like combat boots, but they have a nice thick heel to them as well, especially for going out.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a more comfortable alternative to heels, in my opinion. But when it comes to really long boots with some nice heels, yes, I have actually gotten some recent ones. One of them was for a Blake cosplay, actually, and the other one is for a Neo cosplay. So look at that. We connected it back to Ruby.
Outstanding. Okay. You know, you watch enough of YouTube, you start getting some pieces of lore.
I
boot
feel
lore.
like you're going to have to explain that one to your audience.
Well, yes. For those of you who don't watch them regularly, amongst watching the shows, Elijah has mentioned she really loves characters with red hair, and they get her in trouble all the time. And Moscow has constantly commented on, "Oh, it's the boots. The boots do it for me." And yeah, that's been lots of fun to follow.
It started with
the boot
Ida's
lore.
boots, and I think it ended with Blake's.
Yes, to bring it back around.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you name your company Dragonfly Creations?
Ooh, you want to take that one, babe?
No, you take this one.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a really great question. So it kind of started originally all the way, if you take it all the way back to, I'm constantly being approached and surrounded by dragonflies anytime I'm outside, if I'm out on the daily. I've even had a dragonfly, a red little tiny, it was a damselfly actually, fly down to me and land on my finger while I was eating inside of a restaurant. So I'm not sure what the deal is with the dragonflies and the damselflies, but they surround me constantly. And I see them all the time. And I remember when Moscow started to come and visit, she would start to see them all the time as well. And I used to share with her, how special they are to me, because I feel like, maybe, it's a spiritual thing. Maybe it's an energy thing. Maybe they're bringing a message or saying hi, or there's some kind of connection to them. I don't know, some kind of unexplainable otherworldly connection to them. So I like them. I have a connection to them and they're special to me. And I shared this with Moscow and she started to see it as well. And then cut to a couple years later, we were, discussing this idea of getting into indie animation. And I remember we were eating at an ice cream shop in a mall, actually. And we were trying to figure out what would we name it. And we wanted it to be something special to us personally. And we threw around some ideas. One of the original ideas was a cute little nickname word combination thing we had come up with in the beginning of our relationship. But it didn't really stick as well. And we couldn't really, it just wasn't grasping. And then I think it was you, babe, who you were like, wait a minute, what if we called it Dragonfly?
Mm-hmm.
And because we knew we wanted to write a lot of fantasy stuff for our production company, she also kind of came up with, hey, what if we gave it the fantasy twist? And because there's other companies with the regular Dragonfly name, what if we did Dragon Space Fly then creations, and then our logo was an actual like fantasy dragon, but with the wings of a real life dragonfly. And it was brilliant. And it like we both stuck to it. We both thought it was a great idea. We loved the concept. We loved what it meant for us, what it will represent in our company. And there it is. And that's how it was pretty much born, unless there was anything else you wanted to add to the story, my love.
No, not at all. So sorry about the noise here. I was trying to put my phone on mute because I was getting text messages coming through and it's on loud. No, that covers absolutely everything. I think that was kind of, we knew that, like she said, that fantasy was going to be the main theme here. So, and when you think of fantasy, everybody thinks of dragons, right? Dungeons and Dragons, like it's just one of the main things that comes to mind. So yeah, it just made sense that, hey, dragonflies. Yeah, and that's where it was kind of born from.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's really cool. I mean, like with my wife and I, she's surrounded by dragonflies, and I'm usually surrounded by butterflies, and so we kind of have that whole.
That is so cute. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and you've probably gotten a message from her before, because after watching both of you, she decided to write a story about two YouTubers who fall in love through their show.
Oh, that's so cute. I'll have to look back and see if I can find that.
Yeah, that was I think a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
So
we've had a
it's
few
taking its-
messages of like people that have done comics and stories and fan fictions and all of this kind of stuff, and I can't remember any specific ones, but there's been a few now. But that's really sweet.
That's really sweet.
Oh yeah, and she started it before you two came out on a Truth or Dare.
Look at
So
that. It was
cute.
manifested.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely hysterical. You know, the whole we'll call, so and so's crush, and I'm like, okay, where's this going?
Plot twist for those who don't know the lore behind that. We were dating before that.
Yeah, we were dating for a while before
and
that.
The casual answer of the phone, hello.
I still swoon.
It was classic.
That was how we announced to the world that we were basically dating.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
Good
Thank
time.
you.
Good time.
Another question about Dragonfly Creations. You guys are really well known for really knowing your voice actors and having kind of a relationship. Oh, this character Katra was also voiced this character and stuff like this. So how excited were you when you found out some of the people who were going to be voicing Elves of Amaranth?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there are enough words to describe the level of excitement and almost like not bewilderment, but just awe, I guess, at how fortunate we were to get the people we were able to get. Because to be honest, we got our dream cast. All of the actors, all the voice actors that we initially wanted to have, we have been fortunate enough to actually have in cast. Aside of the ones that we put out auditions for. So I just feel very fortunate, very lucky, and just amazed at the voices we've been able to get. They match these characters so perfectly, Heather. You wouldn't believe, and they just work so well together, and the voices bounce off of each other together so well, and it's really just come together to marry into this like amazing performances that these actors put on, and I couldn't be more grateful, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, you guys have an absolutely stunning voice acting cast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
I mean, it's literally looking at all the possible options. It's like almost every name of the main characters. It's like know them.
Yeah, we've got a few digital circus people in there. The big one for me was when I reached out to Matt Mercer, because I knew that he watched my reactions. And the reason why I know this is because when the last season of Vox Machina was coming out and I was reacting to it, the videos weren't performing very well. So I put out an announcement on YouTube to say, hey, like, it's really not doing well, so I might pull it from the channel. And then literally, I think it was later that evening, it was definitely literally within like 24 hours, Matt Mercer on his own personal Twitter started a thread of all the reactors starting with my video. So there was no hesitation in my mind to know that, hey, he definitely saw my message on this. And then when I clicked onto his Twitter profile, I realized, oh shit, Matt Mercer follows me on Twitter, so he definitely watches my videos. You know, like definitely, he's seen that message. He obviously watches the videos. He's sharing them. You know, which was really sweet of him to do, because I think that's their way of getting a lot of feedback and seeing how audiences are responding to things. And you know, and having spoken to a lot of creators and a lot of writers and even a lot of voice actors at conventions, a lot of them really appreciate reactors. It's your big CEOs of companies that don't, but you know, they love it because they get to see if what they're intending comes across. And even some of the artists and animators all watch reactions too, because they want to tell, what are you picking up from composition? What are you picking up from delivery of voice lines? Like what is resonating with you and what isn't? And so, you know, we go and we meet a lot of these creators and artists and animators, and a lot of them know us straight away. They know us, which is a big surprise to us. So to see Matt Mercer, you know, and then I was like, okay, well, since he already follows me on Twitter, if I follow him back, I refuse to call it X, by the way, I refuse. If I follow him back, then I'll just drop him a message. So I followed him, and then I slipped into his DMs, and I was like, hey, so we're starting this show, and we would love it if you would, you know, be interested in doing a voice for us. And, you know, and Matt Mercer is huge, right? He doesn't need to take on any additional roles of little indie shows. He doesn't need to do that. But instantly he wrote back to me and he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. When can I sign up? You know, just send the details to my agent. I will be all over this. And he was so sweet about it. And so we got fucking Matt Mercer, and he was the first person. He was the first person to come in and do a voice for us, and I was shaking like a leaf before his recording session. But we had the very talented Amanda Hufford, who voices Ragatha in Amazing Digital Circus. For those of you who don't know, Amanda Hufford is an incredible talent, not only in voice acting but in production, because they helped us with all our production. They also were our voice director.
Oh yeah.
I am so looking forward to the show that I can barely wait. And, you know, it's to give you an idea of how much I'm looking forward to this. It's right up there with episode 2 of Knights of Guinevere.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is a
big
huge
praise.
compliment.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment.
Okay, so one of my questions about Elves of Amaranth is, why amaranth? Because that's a type of grain.
That's a question for you, babe. Go ahead.
Do you know, amaranth is one of those things that it has a few meanings. What I remember is remember the Nightwish album, Amaranth, that came out a while back. That was one of those prominent albums of my like not childhood but teenage years. But yeah, so it is also a type of plant, and it is also in the fantasy world, I do believe, as well. Back in the day when they were talking about it or singing about it on their albums, it was to do with like it's sort of like a mysterious plant. And I'm trying so hard to be vague here because I don't want to give spoilers away. There is reasons when it comes to amaranth, and plants are definitely, I know it is also a grain that you extract from some of the plants and stuff, but the plant is part of the main reason why. Yes, that's all I'm going to say.
The main reason why. Yes.
yes.
Oh, one of the reasons I know amaranth is because my wife is a celiac, and amaranth is one of the grains I think she still can eat.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have the naturally occurring gluten. And so, you know, there is lore about the different types of grain used for various wheats and stuff. So there's mystical lore and all that stuff. So I was just wondering why this particular one. And then the fact that it's linked to the actual story, that'll tide me over. I understand.
Yeah, I'm Googling back on some of the amaranth meanings and stuff there, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, that's all I can say for just now.
You did well, baby.
Thank you.
That's fair. For those listeners who decide to Google it, enjoy, because there's several options and it won't narrow
Yep.
anything down.
Nope.
We love the variety.
Okay, so the origins of the story. You two came up with the story, correct?
Yes.
But yeah, mostly Moscow though. I've added to the story and helped changed a few things, but it stems from an original story that Moscow actually had.
Oh, very nice.
Mhm.
What was the inspiration?
So I actually started off with two characters, which, and this is really bringing up my teenage years again. Um, an Evanescence album. Two of the characters actually came from a song on an Evanescence album. And I would just listen to the song and I would have these characters in my head and I had certain scenarios play out that actually won't be making it into the show, but definitely were key foundations for how these characters interact and how they came to be. And so it started with those two characters and then I was also a few years later I started writing a novel that I had a whole first draft of and I started like I was very self-critical about it and I was like I don't really think this is going to go anywhere or do very much, and I also had this other idea for a show, and so what I did was I sort of took those two characters, pulled apart pieces of my novel and the show idea, merged a lot of it together, and that's where this came from. And then like a lot like that was the main basis of the ideas, and I was throwing all these ideas at Elijah and Elijah was going, that's great, let's take that, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that, let's take this, let's build on this here, what about this as an idea, what about this as a concept, what about this as a character, and then that was sort of where it came from.
Oh, excellent. I'm looking forward to this even more. I didn't know you had I mean, you hadn't come out with, yeah, I was working on a novel at one point.
Yeah, I've never really been too vocal about that. I had an entire first draft of it done. I think it was like 70 odd thousand words on its first draft.
That's a good
And
first
it was going to
draft.
be one of, yeah, it's not too bad for a first draft. And it was going to be one of three books. But then I just didn't continue with it. And then the other idea for the show that I had in my head was actually the original show title was going to be called The Elves of Dalquaharan, and so we started pulling that apart. So because it was always going to be elves. Elves were always going to be the predominant thing in my head. So, yeah, that's where this kind of came from.
And one of the quick last questions, how much of Scottish fairy lore is involved in your elves?
Actually, not a lot. Believe it or not, not a lot. That's not to say that there's no Scottish history in here at all. For anybody that has gone on and checked out some of this stuff, there is a region called Culloden, and it's spelled very on the nose. There is a region in Scotland spelled and pronounced slightly differently, but has similar connotations. And definitely there was a lot of inspiration taken from things from that sense. Also, I will say there's definitely a lot of inspiration taken from Scotland and Ireland, and our landscapes was drawn upon quite heavily to create some of the world that you're going to see, and hopefully that does come across.
Well, that sounds really good. Okay, last questions for each of you.
Okay.
Elijah, what is your favorite Scottish food?
Oh man. Now you're asking the questions. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is hard because there's a handful of restaurants that I really adore over there that I wish, oh my God, I wish more than anything that we had here. Man, but if I were to specifically stick to like Scottishness and Scottish foods, I'll be honest, I've tried haggis, I've tried the black pudding, which is blood sausage for those who don't know. I would eat haggis again before I would eat the black pudding again.
Okay, that's actually fairly common. I enjoyed haggis, so
Yes, yeah, especially when it's done right and seasoned really well. It's actually really
yeah,
good. And I like their iron brew. I just have to be careful with the caffeine content. I'm just
yeah.
one of those rare ADHDers that does not do well with caffeine, even though most of them do.
Okay.
But if I had to pick a food, and you could argue it's not a Scottish thing, but their sausages out there, the way they do them out there versus how they do them here, I loved them. There's a specific one we get at the grocery store all the time. Those sausages are banging. They're delicious. They have such a different taste than our sausages out here, and I wish I could bring those with me. So if I had to pick, I would say those Scottish sausages. They're delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's totally fair.
let's go. Favorite food or drink that Elijah has introduced you to?
Oh, well, she's
That's
introduced me
hard.
to Colo Chapan and stuff, which actually tastes very similar to Iron Brew. And I do really like that. There was loads of like American stuff that she's introduced me to. But I'll be honest, one of the first things I had with her, and every time I go back, we always make time to go to a specific restaurant for me to get. It's got to be, I mean, it's America, right? You've got to talk about your meat. It's the ribs. It's your barbecue. You guys just like make meat so that it falls off the bone, and it is so good. So I think Longhorn, is it Longhorn we go to, babe? Is that the place? Yeah.
Yep.
And they always get their halfback baby ribs, and oh, it's to die for. Like that'd be that. It would be your barbecue.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, my Zoom is running out of time, as is often the case. I have absolutely enjoyed this conversation. And so each of you, please let our listeners know where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me on any socials under Not So Average Fangirl. That's going to be like Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. All my socials are under the same thing. And if you would like to learn more about our show, you can find out all that under Dragonfly Creations, also the same across all socials.
Yeah. Just to reiterate with what Elijah says as well, and remember that's Dragonfly Creations on YouTube and such. We've also got sneak peeks and everything up there as well for anybody that is interested in learning a little bit more about the show. We've got like a section of the animatic with 2 of our voice actors and and some progress updates, as well as our full cast announcement. But as for me, I'm We Last Reacts across all socials as well, so as Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube. And that's where you can find me.
Okay, and we will include these links with the show. So all of you can find them when you come to our page.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you guys for an excellent interview.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you once again to We Last Reacts and Not So Average Fangirl, Moscow and Elijah, for that absolutely fun interview. Hope to find out more about the Elves of Amaranth as it gets closer to release date. And you've been listening to 91.1 WDBX, community radio supporting the Southern Illinois region. This has been Heather.
And Johnny.
And Think Again, Please is coming up next. And we'll see you next week on the radio.